Hello, it's Mary Nasi with IMT Realty. We are a full service real estate company located in Groton, Connecticut, and we service southeastern Connecticut into Washington County, Rhode Island. This week, I wanted to answer the question, do you need a realtor to purchase a home? As most people know, no, you do not need a realtor to purchase a home. Many people choose to self-represent and go find a home on their own. I'm going to outline some of the reasons you might want to consider using a realtor to purchase a home. One of the biggest misconceptions that especially the younger generation that are just starting to purchase homes have is that it costs you money to hire a realtor as a buyer. In our area, as in most areas, the commission is paid by the sellers. When somebody sells their home, they pay, typically it's all negotiable, but typically it's between 5 and 6% of the sales price. And that commission is typically split between the seller's agent and the buyer's agent. So there's typically no fee to a buyer to have representation by a realtor. One of the biggest reasons to hire a realtor to help you through the process is that if you're negotiating directly with the listing agent, they are not representing you in the transaction. If you have your own buyer's agent, you will have your own representation that are there to make sure that you are taken care of through the transaction. You're not saving any money by you're not going to get a better price on the home because you're having one agent represent both the buyer and the seller. The only thing that happens in that situation is that the listing agent retains the entire commission representing both sides. There's no cost savings passed along to either you or the sellers. The second thing that I think realtors really bring to the table is they help save you an immense amount of time. They will set up the viewings and tours of multiple properties. So they will, I've showed people a tour of 8 houses in a day or more. And that takes time to figure out the map and the route and setting up the appointments and knowing how much time you have in between each appointment, keeping everybody on track, etc. So that's, I think, a huge help, especially with everybody being busy the way they are today. They can also help with even a for sale by owners. Many for sale by owners will list their properties on Zillow or other sites, but 9 times out of 10, they are willing to work with the buyer agent, and they can definitely handle that for you as well. They're also there to negotiate the best price. They have your best interest at heart when you're viewing these properties. The third thing that a realtor will bring to the table is that a knowledgeable, experienced realtor will provide reputable references to lenders, home inspectors, attorneys, contractors, or other service providers that you might need throughout the transaction. And another the fourth thing that a realtor would bring to the table is they're going to have access to an immense amount of neighborhood information and knowledge, and they can share that information with you to help you make a better decision. This is the biggest investment of most people's lives, is what they spend on their home. So what better way to make the right choice than to have an advocate working for you exclusively? So a fifth thing would be that you have your own representation. So if you're going directly through a listing agent, you would be signing what's called a dual agency and dual agent agreement, whereby you acknowledge that the agent's representing both parties, but don't make the mistake of not understanding that the listing agent's primary fiduciary responsibility in that circumstance is to the seller. I think I think it's very odd dual agency because I don't particularly like to do it unless I'm working with a bank on bank-owned properties or something like that. I like to be able to tell my buyers that I can negotiate for them and get them the lowest price possible and fight for them during home inspection issues. I would find it difficult to do the same on the other side and tell the seller that I'm fighting for them to get them the highest price possible. I I think buyers should have their own representation in the transaction. And then the sixth thing is it definitely saves you time. It's time consuming to coordinate all of the things that come into play during the transaction. It will calm your nerves. As part of what we do is just to listen and walk, talk somebody off the cliff per se, when they're getting anxious or nervous about what they're getting into. So it definitely helps to talk it out with somebody who has a lot of knowledge in the industry, and it definitely will help hopefully keep you calm. And I think one of the most important things is a realtor acts as the middleman. It's not always easy negotiating face to face with the other side on your behalf. And a lot of times people's feelings get hurt. So, it's for example, so a buyer might come to me and just, be really upset and agitated with the inspection and start asking for all of these repairs. And if they were dealing with that directly with the seller, the inflection in their voice could cost them the deal. People's back go up, and they get their feelings hurt. And it's just easier to vent to somebody than have them filter that information and appropriately deliver it to the other side. I think that's probably one of the most valuable things that we bring to the table is we're that middleman and filter. So those are the reasons I think that you do need a realtor to help you navigate the biggest purchase of your life. And if just interview your realtors and make sure you're getting a realtor who's experienced in your area that's going to be available when you need them to be available. And then if you have any questions on, whether you should hire a realtor, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to walk you through it. And I wish you the best of luck. So thanks and have a wonderful day. Bye.